95% of Amazon FBA sellers fail. I'll say that again, 95% of Amazon FBA sellers fail. It's not because Amazon is broken or because there's some secret conspiracy against new sellers. The harsh reality is that 95% of Amazon FBA sellers fail because they treat it like a get-rich-quick scheme instead of a real profitable business. So I've personally made over 50 grand in a single month before with Amazon FBA. And I've helped students hit 60k profit months. But I've also watched countless sellers burn through their savings, chasing the dream. In this video, I'm going to break down the brutal truth about why most Amazon FBA sellers just crash and burn, so that you can avoid their mistakes. So let's get into it. So let's start off with the #1 killer of Amazon FBA sellers. And it's not a competition, it's not algorithms, it's just expecting too much. New sellers see someone like me on YouTube saying about how they made 100 grand in just a couple months time, and they think that that is just the norm. That's what normal sellers do on Amazon. This is not the case. I consistently say that Amazon is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a get-rich-slow scheme. It has taken me 3 years to get to this point, and it's been a whole lot of work getting there. I've seen sellers give up after just a couple months because they're finding it hard and they're not super profitable yet, not realizing that most successful Amazon FBA businesses take at least a year to hit kind of consistent 5k profit months and stuff like that. The sellers who truly make it with Amazon FBA understand that Amazon FBA is a marathon, not a sprint. You've got to set realistic targets, especially based on the capital that you've got to put into the business. Like, say you start with £1,000, you want to be making £1,000 a month, by like month 9. You're not going to get there instantly. Set realistic targets that are easy for you to achieve. Obviously, aim for the stars. I mean, I love setting really big targets for myself, and I often miss them, but then at least, maybe my target was make 100k that month. I only made 50. I missed the target, but I still did well. But this kind of scale is just not normal for the vast majority of Amazon FBA sellers. You just got to be realistic, Stop comparing yourself to everyone else and just focus on you. Poor product analysis is another reason that a lot of people fail. It's kind of obvious, but it is why most businesses fail. Your deal analysis can literally make or break your business, especially at the beginning. It's important that you learn how to analyze a good deal properly before spending loads of money on it, or you'll end up just like me a few years ago when I didn't really know what I was doing, where you're buying kind of smart radiator thermostats in March and taking massive losses on just stupid preventable things. Now, I do have a whole video just on deal analysis, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. But just in short, you want to be checking that the profit and ROI are good. Don't buy anything less than 20% ROI. Make sure that it's fast selling, there's minimal competition compared to the sales, and that the product isn't too seasonal. And if it is, that you're buying well in advance. I'm talking buying advent calendars in August, not in November. A lot of people also claim that Amazon FBA doesn't work or that it's all a scam just because they've had 1 or 2 products flop because they've not done the deal analysis correctly. You've got to understand you are going to make mistakes in this game. There are definitely ways to counter that. If you can have good advice from sellers that are already doing well, that can really, really help. But if you're just on your own, you're going to make mistakes. It's guaranteed. Just got to not let it get to you and just keep pushing on. It's also important that you have good business strategy. Keeping finances strictly personal in the business can definitely be tricky if you've not run a business before, but it's important you keep things separate and you keep reinvesting your profits. One of the worst things you can do is taking out all your money each month as a salary and not just putting that back into stock. You're never going to be able to scale and grow the business if you're not constantly pumping money into it. Every penny of profits, if you can afford to, put that back into more stock. You'll be thanking yourself later when that is compounding in your business and making you more money in the long run. And if you have another income stream like a 9-to-5 job, if you can put a little bit of money aside each month and put that back into the business to keep buying more and more stock, you're going to make more profit. It's simple as that. The more money you can spend on stock, the more money you can make on selling that stock. The sellers who are just constantly pulling out money early are the ones who are going to be stuck doing 1k profit months forever. Whilst the ones who reinvest strategically, like me, are bound for 10, 20, 30k profit months further down the line. It's all just patience and compounding. It's also important that you're tracking all of your expenses really, really well. You want to know exactly how much net profit you're making each month. A lot of sellers don't track this sort of stuff, and they look at Seller Toolkit and they see they've made, £1,000 in a month according to Seller Toolkit. But Seller Toolkit and other similar softwares, they're not perfect. They're not geniuses. They're not magic. They're not going to be able to pull your expenses from your bank account or anything like that. You have to work out your net profit, because just because software like that says one thing, if you're not tracking the fact that you're spending X amount on software, X amount on prep, pulling money out of a salary, all of these other things, you could be losing money without ever even realizing. Something else I see a lot of new sellers doing is just kind of copying what the crowd is doing, copying what the masses are doing. Most failed sellers end up just chasing what's already working for a large group of people, and then it all just goes terribly. When there's these big kind of product trends and you're jumping in several months late after everyone has already started selling it, and you're kind of late to the party, you can be left holding the bag with that stock and ended up selling it for a loss. With all these sellers selling the same sort of products, it just creates a race to the bottom. There's too much competition, it kills the price, people are just undercutting each other to get out as soon as possible, and it's just a bloodbath. You don't want to do that. You want to find unique ways to find products, unique categories, unique niches, and focus on those. Focus on being different to the crowd. That's what I've always done. I've always just done things a little bit differently when it comes to Amazon FBA. I've not been using these same standards, storefront sourcing, keeper product finder, or anything like that. I just do it differently, and that's what sets me apart from other sellers, and that's what allows me to hit these crazy high numbers that no one else in the game is able to achieve. It's as simple as that. That is the reason why I've been so successful so quickly. It's just I've developed my own sourcing methods, and no one else on the internet does this. You can't find them on YouTube. The only people that do this are those in my mentorship program because I've taught them it. Outside of that, I do not know a single other seller doing what I do. It really is the same as any other business. If you're just doing the exact same thing as other people, you're never going to really succeed. Another thing that's quite important to watch out for is that the Amazon game is always changing. You've got to learn to adapt. Most sellers just can't handle this kind of uncertainty of the constantly evolving space of what works and what doesn't. And it's important that you kind of keep up to date with how things are changing, with just the market in general, as well as Amazon themselves. Whether it's an Amazon policy change or competitors appearing on your listing, new aggressive pricing coming into play from a competitor, or just customer preferences shifting, you've got to learn to adapt. A lot of sellers, instead of just shifting their strategy and doing something a bit differently, they just panic and they give up. And that's how they fail. They treat Amazon like it's some static system that never changes, but it's dynamic, it's constantly evolving, it's constantly changing, and you've got to keep up with the times. The successful sellers are those who embrace these changes as opportunity, not as something that's going to kind of destroy their business. They understand that adaptability is their biggest competitive advantage in this marketplace, because they're able to do what other sellers can't. So there you have it. Those are the real reasons why 95% of Amazon FBA sellers just fail. It's not because the platform is rigged against you, or because you need some secret product research tool. It's simply because most people approach Amazon like gamblers instead of business owners. If you want to be in that successful 5%, you need to think differently from day one. Build systems, make data-driven decisions, and treat this like the serious business opportunity that it is. Now, if you're ready to approach Amazon FBA the right way and you want help creating a proper strategy for your business, then head down below and click the first link in the video description to book a free strategy call with me. On that call, we can go through your specific situation and create a roadmap that actually works. Finally, make sure to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful, and click up here to watch my video on the new way to do Amazon FBA in 2025.